It's the best as get.
Hi, I'm Austin Eartham.
And I'm Taylor Patton. Welcome to the Kitchen Table Podcast.
We really gotta cut our intro down to 6 seconds. We need it to be 3 so that we can waste less time. It's just gonna be hi, you say hi, cut.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Austin Eartham.
And I'm Taylor Patton. Welcome to the Kitchen Table Podcast.
Alright, we're beautiful. Alright. Are you ready?
I don't know what the challenge was. Not ready to.
Attitude is, challenge of attitude is to have a positive attitude.
Okay. Fuck, that's.
It's so basic as shit.
Yeah. I mean.
That's just challenge right there. Oh, it's a.
Just look up how to choose a challenge.
Act with a purpose.
Okay, just say be intentional with your attitude.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Be intentional. That's a fucking big word. All right.
You know, we use a big word for a challenge. It automatically makes it sound hard and intriguing. I look fucking big.
I know.
Excuse my language, sorry. I'm about to have bigger arms than you.
Good. Don't care if you have bigger arms than me. I can lift 4 times as much as your scrawny little booty.
But I got bigger arms. Someone's gonna pick me in a fight.
What did the Motley Fool do? Double down on what?
What?
Motley Fool said something. Double down on what? Oh. Go back one. Oh, they keep doing that to get you clickbait.
It's clickbait right there. That's what we're not good at.
Stupid.
What was last week? What was the challenge?
What did we talk about again? No, toughness. We said get out of our comfort zone.
I don't think that was it though. That could be it, but I don't think that was it.
It was.
It was. I don't think we should talk about it because I don't. I mean, we can, but I don't.
We did it at your work. We did 2 parts. We said the challenge of the week is to do something. It was to get out of your comfort zone. I'm like 95% sure.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, I'm with you, but I mean, I don't have anything to speak on because I don't think I really did. I mean, I did it at work, I guess, but.
Just say you did it at work.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, I'm always ready.
Alright, here we go.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Austin Eartham.
And I'm Taylor Patton, and welcome to the Kitchen Table Podcast.
We're here to motivate, educate, and relate to you guys, sharing our stories, helping you to get 1% better in all areas of your life. Tonight we're going to be talking about attitude.
Yeah, we're going to talk about attitude.
Taylor,
why do you look at me like I'm like deer in the headlights?
Before we start, I'm like, Taylor, are you ready? And he says, I'm always ready. Then he's laughing as we start, and then
Okay.
and then I do the intro like always, and then Taylor's, yeah, attitude.
I think you looked at me like deer in the headlights, like I don't know what you want from me.
I thought you were gonna go into the next stuff.
Oh,
anyways,
you have it written down. I don't have that part, but I can.
we got some news. Let's just share some news. All right.
Yeah.
First things first. Camera. We're working on it. All right.
We're doing fine.
We're doing fine.
When it comes out, we'll let them know. Otherwise, it don't even be what we're talking about.
We're trying to get the YouTube channel up so you guys can see the beautiful designs that Bo made for us. You can also see it on the back of us.
I'm glad that they can see that.
I hope they can see it. I don't know, but we're gonna come out with some merch. We're gonna come out with. We got a lot of big things coming on. Oh my goodness, they really can't see that.
You say that every week.
Yeah, but we're gonna. It's coming. We are. Just think about how much progress we're making.
I love it.
We got the thing in the background here. You can see our little picture that Bo made for us. I mean, it's gonna be great. We're gonna be better. Also, adding a second episode a week. We're doing a little trial here for the next few weeks, and we're gonna see if you guys like it. Taylor, do you want to go into that? Because Taylor came up with this, and I think it's a great idea.
That's because I'm just smart. I'm just creative like that. But yeah, so what we started doing, we already recorded the first episode. So it's gonna be dropping on Thursday. So what it is 14 minutes and 40 seconds is 1% of your day. And to kind of go with it along with the theme of like 1% getting better each and every day, we added a second podcast in that's going to be roughly 14 minutes and 40 seconds. That way it's just 1% of your day, that it's a quick listen, and then usually it's going to have to revolve around like the topic that we talked about for the week on our longer podcast normally. But yeah, so we're trying out guests and all that, so we have a special guest, Joe Sterner, and that coming up. So we're excited for that. He's our first guest. It went really well. Excited to hear your feedback.
Yeah, I think it's an awesome idea. Get some more content out there. Obviously, hopefully can impact a few more people, and then also conquer our goals for the podcast as well.
Yeah.
Another thing we're adding is once we get the YouTube going and we get some more following, hopefully, we really want you guys to let us know what's important to you and what value this podcast brings to you. So we want you to comment on our stuff, subscribe to the channel when we get it up, like it, let us know what you want to see more of, what you don't like. One thing that got brought up to us this week during our guest episode that we were shooting is, why is it important for you to listen to us? We're just two random guys. What value can we bring to you? So we're going to add a new segment, hopefully during when we're kind of describing what you can do better and whatever topic it is. So tonight it would be attitude. How can you have a better attitude or put that into action? We're going to try to do a better job of explaining that for your everyday life and why it might be beneficial for you, and not just for us or sharing our stories, etc. We're trying to reach the most abundant audience we possibly can. So that's most of the news, right? A lot of it deals with the camera once we get up to see some what you guys might like for merch or our logo, etc. But the biggest news happened, but it might not even be news, but biggest news happened in Boston this past week. Might have got Whoop to be a sponsor for the Kitchen Table podcast. We're currently in the works of that. Long story short is, walked into the Whoop offices. The challenge last week was to get out of your comfort zone. I was very much out of my comfort zone, walking in there and basically just being like, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is my partner's name. This is what he does. You want to be a part of the team? A part of the team? We love the Whoop. We want to help the Whoop out and have the Whoop help us out.
That's right. You just had it with straight periods. Every 2 words is a period.
Yeah, I was emphasizing it for dramatic effect. But anyways, got some stuff in the works. They very much could tell us no. But our numbers are continuing to grow. Thank you guys. Thanks to you guys. We really appreciate that.
Along with that, like, it's just like cool to get our name out there.
Yeah,
and just even show that they're even interested and to talk to them and such.
Yeah, it's a really cool experience, especially because we bring it up a lot in the podcast.
Yeah.
And it really, like, part of my pitch to them was, hey, like, you can reach a lot of people. We can reach a lot of people. It doesn't matter age, gender. But our podcast numbers, the age group that listens the most, are I would assume, the most abundant users of the Whoop. So it really correlates nicely. And the Whoop helps you not only get better physically, but mentally and even like emotionally with stress. Why is that funny?
I'm not just laughing.
Because you think
let me laugh.
All right.
I think you should be a spokesperson for Whoop. That's all you need to do.
I think
need PR.
I think
We're actually a PR podcast for Whoop. Just to let you guys know.
No, I do think I'm a decent salesman when I'm interested in it. If I'm not interested, oh man, waste of time.
Bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
But
so going off that, for your challenges of the week, it was stepping outside your comfort zone. For me, it came in work form where I had to step out and like actually start enrolling people, insuring people, and so that was the next step and growth part of my phase of my work, I'd say. So that was interesting. Is definitely growth within it. I mean, there's not too much to say.
Yeah.
That's about it.
You want to go to the quote of the week? You got this one, right? Taylor's got a great quote that he shared with me earlier. It's also on his Instagram.
Yeah, so the quote of the week is, there's something really attractive about positive people. And that resonates with me is because, like, if you're super negative, if you have negative tendencies, like, you're not going to spend a lot of time in my life. Like, that's just straight facts. Like, you got to fix your mindset before you're going to come here and try to, like, affect mine.
Yeah, and you're a product of who you hang around too, so it shouldn't bring you down.
Yeah, and so, like, especially, like, the people I meet that are, like, super positive, or even if it's, like, on social media, if they just, like, have a positive vibe, positive pictures, TikTok, doesn't matter, like, and that I'll probably most likely follow you right away, just because, like, it's just another outlet for positivity. Like, my feed is straight positivity. So that's cool, and I really like that quote. I don't know who it's by or anything like that. Yeah, so I don't know what your thoughts are on Austin.
I just like it because, well, if you're think about just negativity is just depressing. Like, how does that benefit anybody? Like, I don't care if you're in the worst situation ever, and this leads into attitude. You got to have a positive outlook.
Yeah.
If it's negative, then what good, one, does worrying do? Two, does looking down? All it does is make you more mad.
Yeah. What is that quote? Misery loves company. There we go. That's it.
Misery, yeah, because just like positivity is contagious, so is negativity.
Yeah.
We could do a whole episode on this.
Yeah, for sure. And that you really have to, again, you have to edit your life. Like, you have to put thought into, like, where your thoughts go, and maintain that. Because if you're not constantly maintaining it, then next thing you know, like, you're on a slippery slope with
and then
your thoughts, your processes, your friends.
Yeah,
and then
your first thought is usually negative. That's a proven research thing. But the second thought, after you have time to initially, like, get through the reaction and actually think about it, those thoughts need to be positive. Just like I said for my morning, I wake up and it's basically the F word every day. Because, like, I got to get up and I don't want to. But the second thought is, okay, I have this, and this to look forward to today.
Right.
So positivity always wins. In the end, it keeps you going. It's good to have motivators, but I don't think negativity should be the main motivator. I think positivity should be a better motivator. Like, for workouts, like, if somebody makes you mad or they're saying bad things about you, okay, that's fuel. But in the end, you got to do it for your, like, positive self-growth or whatever goal you're trying to reach, I think. So I just think that's important.
Yeah, 'cause it just goes into, like, your why versus motivation. Like, your why's got to be deeper than your motivation, because motivation runs out. So I'd say the same. Like, positivity is kind of like, it ties into your why.
Yeah.
Most likely. If not, like, that's just something you got to fix, and something, like, you can look into, audit and all that stuff, because it's just plays like, I don't know. I just haven't had a negative life to, like, really reflect on. Like, I haven't really had too many negative thoughts or anything like that. Like,
and maybe we're both bad. I don't want to say bad examples, but we're both pretty positive pizza. Both pretty positive people. That's a tongue twister. And
yeah,
so we might not be great examples in terms of negativity, which is a good thing, I would say.
Yeah. And because, I mean, it's just, like, something, like, I think we put into effect, like, a while ago. Like, is, like, you're just, like, they're just not gonna play a part in my life if you're negative. And that, I'm not saying I'm gonna cut you completely off. You're just, the amount of time you spend with me or I interact with you is gonna severely be cut.
Yeah.
Until you can figure out how to have a positive outlook, because you only got one life to live.
That's right.
Why live it all upset, down, and mad at everything else, playing victim on everything happened to you, and this negative, sad mindset when you only got one life.
YOLO, baby.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick ad break. Shout out to Eartham Healthcare Services and Cold Kicking, as well as Anchor. We'll get back with the definitions here in about 30 seconds.
We'll be right back with an ad break. Thank you.
All right. It's processing. We ready?
Always.
All right. You're just gonna start right on with the.
Let me cough real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
I'm ready.
You're speaking to start. Good.
Waiting on you. Attitude. Definition of attitude is a settled way of thinking or feeling about someone or something, typically one that reflected in a person's behavior.
Say that one more time for the listeners, please.
I gotcha. Sorry, I'm a bad reader, but I'm out here reading. A settled way of thinking or feeling about someone or something, typically one that is reflected in a person's behavior.
So you think it, you feel it, you act upon it.
Yeah.
Essentially. So brain to body to physical body. I don't know what the feel would be emotionally. I don't know. I think that's
action.
I think what I get out of that is how strong attitude can be. If you really deep dive into it, how strong attitude is. First you think it.
With me.
First you think about it, then you feel it, right?
Yeah.
Anything you feel is strong.
Yeah.
Like something that you can't grasp. You can't grab attitude, right? And then
right.
But you can see it, just like your character. How we talked about that's a little more complicated.
Right.
So if you do the same, I mean, if you act upon it, you're gonna act how you feel normally.
Yeah. That or like when like your mom would like tell you to take the garbage out and you have like an attitude and she like yell at you, don't catch an attitude with me.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of those episodes in my life when I was younger.
I'll do like that's just the first. Don't catch an attitude.
I'm like not lazy, but I am. I'll work out for 3 hours, but I won't go to the fridge. Somebody's got to get me my food. Hey, can you go to the fridge and get me an apple?
Same way someone can cook me my food. That's how I feel.
Yeah. So I just think attitude is very strong, and I don't know if it's a strong desire, because that's kind of how you feel, and you're going to act upon how you feel at the present moment. Especially when the attitude, we talked about positivity earlier. If your attitude is negative, your desire is to just make everything bad. If I'm pissed off, I want to make everybody pissed off. That's how I feel.
That's such a funny, yeah, right? Because misery loves company.
I mean, if we're at the mall and I'm mad because my brother wants to do something else and I want to go to the mall and he wants to go to this store, so we go to that store, I'm going to be, and then we can't go to Panera and get some bagels, and mom's mad that we're running late and I have something, I want to see the football game, so I want to go eat, and everything's a no. I get mad, so okay, if I'm not happy, then screw you guys, I'll just do what I want.
Yeah.
And it literally happened last week.
Go into it.
So, I was in Boston, right? And we were in the airport, and our flight is delayed because the flight attendants coming onto our flight got delayed in St. Petersburg, Florida. So we're just stuck at the airport for like four extra hours. Yeah, and I don't like it when I'm trying to get on a flight. It might have been, it might have not been St. Petersburg. It might have been somewhere else.
No matter what.
It was Florida, though.
Oh, great place.
But long story short is,
what's the short story?
I just lost my thought. This is so bad. This is not good podcast.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say mine because every time I think about this,
you go to yours. I come back to mine.
It's the same thing in the airport when I had to go to the bathroom and I yelled it and you guys just left me and I was like,
goodness.
I was like, screw it. I was like, I got the key to go home. I was like, I can get an Uber. I was like, no worry about me. I was like, they can't get in. I was like, and I wasn't even like that upset. It's more just like F it, like attitude. Like it's like that's on them. Like they didn't want to wait. They didn't want to play with it. Like they don't wait on me, so I'm gonna wait on them.
That's it. That's what mine is. And I used to be really bad at like, not to make you sound like yours was bad, but like I used to have attitude like that all the time. Or like, fiance and I this weekend both had attitude towards each other. That was not needed. But we got through that. But anyways, we were in the airport and I'm a big Red Sox fan. So we're going to Boston and they just happen to have a home game in the ALDS, right? So we can see them on Sunday night. My brother runs on Monday. So I'm thinking all along, that they are going to get swept by the Rays. Like, that's just what I thought. And they're down 1-0 in the series, and they play the night that we're flying. And they're losing. Rays scored like 4 runs in the first couple innings. So I was like, great. And I was like, good thing we got tickets for Sunday. And then mom said, do you want to tell him? And so my dad's telling me that we got tickets for Monday. I was like, if there's no game 4, we don't get to see them. I was like, we're coming. This has been like the 2 things we wanted to go to Boston is 1, to watch the Red Sox. So we're going to trying to go to all the baseball stadiums. And 2, Ryan run the marathon. And they're like, we got tickets to Monday so Ryan doesn't have to walk around. I was like, the game's at 4 o'clock. You sit during a baseball game, well, then we got to get food. I understand from Ryan's point of view, I do. But I also understand that he was injured, so he wasn't going to run his best race, too. So it was back and forth. Now, I don't know how important it really is if it's like a regular season game or a playoff game, type deal with your body.
Yeah.
But either way, I was pissed. And I was like, you know what? Screw you guys. I'll buy my own ticket. I'll go on the subway myself. I'll go to game 3 by myself. Because if they get swept, we don't get to see them on Monday.
Did you?
So I looked up tickets in the airport and had them ready to go, yes. And then they ended up winning game 2, so I didn't have to worry about it. Because we got to see them no matter what then. But my attitude was, this is worth it to me. I will pay whatever I need to pay to get some tickets to go to this game.
Right.
So I had major attitude. Like, if it's something I want to do, and especially if it's something I can't just, well, I can, but it's very expensive just to fly to Boston and go to a game. Like, it's not very economical. And I was already going to be there.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I have to do what I can to get there. So my attitude might have been a little too much because there was still time and it made sense for the rest of the family. But for me, it was I'm seeing a game no matter what.
Is it like that? That's like what makes you happy. Like,
it was important to me.
Yeah, and so like that's a great point right there. Is like if you're not happy with the process that you're in, you're just gonna be miserable. You're gonna that's just gonna lead to upsetting moments. You have to be happy in the process, and that if it's not bringing you happiness, you got to minimize it or cut it out. And that just because, again, we got one life, and it's like what are you gonna do that like no one wants to work at a job they paid for 40 years.
Yeah, but you might have to do it for a couple of years.
Really though?
In
today's world, I feel like
I don't want to say hate it, but
I mean, it depends what you want to do. Like, do you have to pay the price for something? Yeah.
Like, for instance, I used to work valet parking at a casino. It was a fine high school or summer college job because I wanted to get to the next step and I wanted to make some money to be able to pay for some things, but I didn't want to work there long term. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, everything I do is to work towards something else I want to do. So I have a good attitude. Like, hey, I mean, me and my fiance talk about this all the time. Work, don't look forward to it, right? Sucks. Don't want to get up early. Don't want to deal with people. Kids don't listen, whatever it might be. But hey, you know what? We're making money, and this is patient hours. This is going to be money to help pay for the wedding. This is impacting people's lives. You get a free weight room. Like, there's see the positives that you can have in it, and before you know it, where you want to be, like, if your goals or dreams, whatever, is sitting in front of you, more so, is what I'm trying to say. Does that make sense? So trying to find the positive attitude in something that you maybe don't want to do for long term, I think is really important.
Yeah, for sure. You just have, like, if I guess, like, for you, because I feel like for you, like, it's very temporary, and
the job situation, it's,
and where most people, like, what they do and study, like, and that is like what they want to do long term, or what they suppose they want to do long term, and like
she should enjoy it.
Yeah, and and if they're not enjoying it, and then like start doing other things, like especially when you're young, like our age, we can go to 0, we can fail everything and still be okay.
Yeah, but is that a attitude problem, or is that a don't like your job because it's not what you thought it was problem. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, so that plays in your attitude, 100%.
It's like 66% of Americans hate their job.
Yeah.
Just huge. That's way too much.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Is like I mean, again, like you can take a different job. I mean, you might have like, you might take like $15,000-$20,000 less of a paycheck, but are you going to be happy? You're going to be able to spend more time with your family.
So some of it is what's priority.
Yeah. So again, like, you got to figure out your values and priorities. At the end of the day, like you just got to find happiness in the process. And if you're not, again, like if the process isn't happy, then you're not going to be happy, which is going to lead you to not wanting to further your dreams and goals because you're caught in this endless loop of like a downward cycle of your mental mindset.
Yeah, I just wonder how many of those like 66%ers are negative. Like they just wake up negative. Mm-hmm. They go through their day, they're negative. They don't look at the positives or have a good outlook on it, you know?
Yeah. And
I think I used to be really bad at that. So like some of you listen, like this might be the value portion of like why listen to this episode. This is, I think we're in the midst of talking about why it's important for everybody. So one thing I've learned over the years, especially like not having the so-called job that I want, is I used to think sports is like my whole life. Can't live without it, right? But the older and wiser I get, again, this just happened last week. Like going out to eat with some of our friends. Like I got in the car and told my fiance, I was like, wow, we have great friends. Like people don't have that. And just like the older I get, like it's not just about one thing in your life. Attitude can be put towards like multiple areas, right? So even if I got to go to work today, it's not the job I want to do. You know what? Tonight I got to hang out with my friends. Or, hey, I get to have this cup of coffee in the morning. And so it's not all about the main piece that you're looking for. Does that make sense? The more experience you have, the more wise you get. It's not about being financially free anymore. It's about, okay, I'm working towards my goal, but if I'm not financially free today, I can still have a good attitude and find happiness in my life. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's so many people, like I used to be locked in NFL or I'm not happy. Professional soccer, I'm not happy. This is my dream, and football started out obviously not great in college, so I wasn't happy. But then you find other things and it doesn't consume who you are. A lot of professional athletes, when they stop or they get cut or they're retired, don't know who they are anymore. Because they're just consumed with it's them the athlete, not them the person.
Right. I mean, that's at any age too.
Yeah, and I'm saying like I learned that at a very young age. Like there's more to life than in for my instance would be sports. Yeah. Other people, it might be playing an instrument. It might be reaching your PhD. What do you like? You've been in school for 10 years. Now you don't know what to do with your life. Mm-hmm. Type of deal. And there's a number of things. It could be moving away to a new city. So I think with change usually comes negativity. People hate change. I'm definitely in that boat. But if you can have a positive outlook, for instance, me and my fiance could move thousands of miles away. That sucks to leave all of our friends, but we have a great opportunity to explore a new city and to really grow our relationship together, just us.
Right. This is exposing myself. I like for past probably 2-3 weeks. I think I said this to you before. I have this like fleeting like thought of just like packing up and just moving, just like leaving.
It's hard though.
Yeah, and
actually pull a trigger.
Right, but I like it. I mean, it doesn't happen too often, and it's like something I wouldn't do right now, at this very moment. But it's just like something that just like comes and goes, and it's like it's like a very like scary thought process of just like leaving everything.
So, I mean, because that's like I would say that's a very good experience to have, just to say you did it. Again, right. Like I want to do speaking, that's a great thing to speak of. Yeah. Hey, I just packed up and I did this.
Mm. That's why I think I like travel so much too.
Yeah.
And that, because it just gives you a break from the typical everyday life. And you gotta figure out like different perspectives of how people live and try to new things.
Well, think about this though. How many people... when they're going on vacation or traveling, how many people have a bad attitude towards it?
Right.
5%?
Yeah.
There is a story my dad told me that they were going on. He had some people at the office that were family friends with. They were going on vacation, and my dad asked what their favorite part was going to be, and the other dad said, "When we come home." I was like, "Wow, that sucks." I was like, "I'll go." So
but yeah, it's like some people they don't like that's like not happiness, and they don't want to leave. They don't want to move around. Like
yeah, I mean,
like that's stressful to them. Is like traveling to a new
it
spot.
it is stressful,
But it's like part of the joy too.
Seeing,
I guess that we find in it.
Seeing the world, I think, is awesome and a great experience to have. Again, the more you can kind of figure out how the world works or goes around, I feel like the more attitude that becomes positive and doesn't just become like the typical little kid attitude in quotes. You know what I mean? So something bad happens. For instance, like we let's say we go in our Myrtle Beach discussion again. We go back. I don't think like. If we had any of those situations with the ice cream or the bathroom again, I think we'd just blow it off, be like, okay, moving on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it happened. We're not going to have a bad attitude about it. We're going to move on.
Yeah.
And I used to be awful at traveling. Like, if I don't do everything I want, I get pissed because I'm not coming back, right? Because it's I got so many places I want to be, I'm not coming back.
Right.
And now it's kind of like,
or
okay, well, I'm going to have to come back. And if I don't, then I don't. I can't do everything in my life, so just enjoy the heck out of it.
Yeah.
So you gotta have a good attitude.
Or the time we had to drive 2 hours out of our way to drop a friend off. And
I thought you were talking about when we went to the national parks in Utah, how I made us go 2 hours to drive there, and then we didn't even see what we wanted to saw.
Yeah, which was dumb too. But I mean, it was fine. We did this hike. So it was a 2 hour drive, and then so we're in Utah.
Really, it was only 30 miles, but we couldn't cut through the park because it was closed.
Yeah, so we had to drive around this park. So it's 2 hour drive to see these. What was it? Elephant.
They're called like the elephant ears. It's at is it Canyonlands? Yeah.
I want to say it's Canyonlands.
It's right by Arches.
Yeah. And yeah, so I was like, this is one thing I want to see. We got to see it. And so then
I saw this picture on Instagram of it, and like I looked up, it was a big thing.
It looks super cool. But I don't know if we were not looking in the right spot or if it's just not as cool as we thought.
Well, first we thought that we had to drive. We could just drive there.
Yeah.
And we come in and we're at the bottom of this mountain.
So now this like drive through that we thought it was supposed to be. So
it's like 4-wheel drive vehicles only.
Yes. Now we're hiking 3.5 miles.
No, it was 3.5 each way.
Yeah. So we ran a 5K there and back.
Yeah, well,
basically
2 of us did, 1 of us did. So we ended up being slower anyways.
It was fine, but
we still had some cool pictures.
Yeah. So, but no, what I was talking about, this is the one where we're in the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah. When we had to drop our friend off in Denver, which was 2 hours. Basically, it was 2 hours out of the way because we could have just went home, but we had to go back into the city and then rush hour traffic and. It was bad. Also,
I enjoyed it. I never seen Denver in the daytime, so I was chilling.
I was mad because I got home 2 hours later. I got home at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
That instead of 2, and I could have actually got some sleep. I slept for an hour on the couch, and I watched my cousin play baseball or softball.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Yeah, because I dropped you off and you live closer. Anyways, the one thing this just shows to have like a good attitude because everything works out. Remember when we went to Canyonlands? We went to Arches after, right? Because we were going to do that and then go home before it got dark.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, they closed, because this was right before, like, when COVID first started, national parks opened back up. And Arches, remember, they closed because there's too many people during the day. So we might not have even got to go anyways.
Yeah, that was crazy. They opened it, and then there's too many people in the park, so they closed it again.
And then they opened it back up at night.
And at nighttime, they opened it up again when everyone got out, which is wild.
It just shows that have a good attitude because life's going to work out.
Right. And then, again, it just showed, like, how cooped up people were. Because this is kind of like right kind of towards when, like, things were opening up. And it was packed.
Yeah,
There's a lot of people for just, like...
we saw a lot of different state license plates. It wasn't just from Utah. It was,
I
mean, it was all over the place.
But, his attitude... again, like... Overall, like, the attitude's always super high, especially traveling, and that. But then, like, then you get into the thick of it. Like, there's like less sleep. You're sleeping in different spots, and then like, you get tired, and then that's when like your different attitudes come out because you're upset or things don't go the right way, but you're still on vacation. So it's just an interesting dynamic that.
Yeah, and that's kind of the next topic I want to hit on attitude. This is what I think of when I hear the word attitude, honestly. So, kind of like you said, it's fun to plan it, it's fun to get going on it, but then you get in that mode and you've been like, for instance, on the Utah trip, we were flying, we were going all over the place. We were there 5 days?
Yeah, something like that.
And we drove through the night twice. We went to 2 national parks in a day and walked 30 miles.
Right.
And we didn't get very much sleep. That one night we sat by the pool and put our feet in and actually slept. We got up at 4 a.m. because Taylor wanted to see the sunrise at this place. Hold on.
And then the park wasn't open. And
then the park wasn't open, and so we were gonna leave, and then right when we're leaving, the park opens.
Yeah, the ranger comes in, opens the gates, and people are flying. Like the sun was rising right then. People were flying.
We were literally going 70 and a 25.
Yeah.
And there's curves. It was wild.
And people were going faster than us. It was insane. We had to sprint to see the sun because it's a big thing.
It was 800-meter sprint basically. What we did. It was awesome.
And everyone was sprinting. It was
so cool.
It was a different.
It was awesome.
And
I just remember think about that though. Think about attitude there. Running a 800-meter dash normally, we literally jumped out of the car and ran. No stretching. 4:30 in the morning, and we were laughing. We thought it was funny. Think about in a workout, that sucks. I gotta get up at 4 in the morning, gotta run.
Yeah.
But we did that.
Yeah. So that's just cool to reflect on for everyone listening to. Kind of reflect on instances that you're in a good place, but then you had fleeting moments of bad attitude or and how that affected your day, how you changed the projection of your day. Just that quick moment can really change your day because of what you thought, or in that moment of being upset, what you done, what you did.
Because again, it goes from thinking to feeling, and then you act upon it usually.
Yeah, and so that that acting is especially when you're in a bad attitude, especially in a happy attitude, you don't everything kind of slides off, you're not too.
You're not concerned about anything.
When you're mad, you're F this, I'm just gonna you just expose what you think about everyone. It doesn't matter, So when you're in those moments, it's kind of not bite your tongue, but you really gotta check yourself before
you need to take a breath.
Yeah, and get out of the situation or wherever you're at. That you just need to take a minute.
Yeah, that's something I try to do now, especially working with kids who are 14, 15. Some of the things they say and do, they don't realize that they're being dumb.
Yeah.
Or saying hurtful things or whatever. So I just try to take a deep breath and think, okay, how is this gonna affect me in an hour? If I say something or do something that it's not going to go well.
Exactly. Especially they're 14 and 15-year-olds. That was the one thing I learned at Woodward too, was a big thing. It was I was already pretty good at patience, but then that kind of dealt significant. It's these are young kids. I was anything they say has no effect on my life.
Yeah.
I was I'm never going to see any of these kids again in my life, so anything they say to me ever, I was A, I've probably already said to myself, or B, it has no effect on my life.
That's neutral thinking right there. That's
yeah. And so
Mr. Moab, who rest in peace, but great guy.
Yeah, so just having that thought is and yeah, because I feel a lot of people get hurt on what people say and opinions of others, but really you get kind of got a little bit I'd say interpret everything the good and the bad, but at the end of the day it's just opinions. It's just where you really know who you are, and that you really have to stand firm in that. And if it's something that doesn't empower you, then let it slide away. It doesn't exist really. That's how I guess I see it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it's fairy dust.
Something that I think that's a good way with coping, as long as I think it's important to reflect on what it might be though. Not just say screw it, I'm done type of deal, but to think okay, come to terms with all right, is this really meaningful in my life? Think about it for a minute. If it's not, move on. If it is, okay, how can we have a better attitude towards it? But one thing you said that I actually have never thought about, but thinking about my experiences the past 5 years of life, patience and attitude. If you can have good patience, your attitude is usually better.
Yeah, for sure.
I just think about the people who I know who are patient in life, their attitude's pretty good.
Yeah. It's again when you're I feel like when you're kind of just like in that, I don't want to say neutral because it's like, I feel like I'm like happy 73%.
Well, you can be happy thinking
But
neutral. You
neutral,
should read.
yeah.
I should show you this book.
Yeah, but I don't want to say like it's a neutral state, but I would say that. But when you're like in that new, in that kind of like that flow, like of patience and like nothing's bothering you, because I mean like, at the end of the day, like really like unless it's only you can affect you at the end of the day. I feel like unless it's like actually someone physically like or mentally hurting you.
Yeah.
Then like it's only you can affect you.
That's how I get through. For instance, like the game last night was going into overtime, and I was like, I'm going to bed because in the end, the game has no impact on my life.
Exactly.
But me getting sleep impacts my life.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I love watching sports. I love it.
Exactly.
But I gotta. Who cares at that point? I gotta go to bed. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, like Iowa losing.
Yeah, like who cares?
Yeah. Like like that sucks. Unfortunately for a lot of
I'm
people. But yeah, I know you.
Go Boilermakers.
I know you are.
My whole family's happy.
Yeah. But for like the entire state of Iowa.
Yeah.
And that for Iowa, it's like 93% of Iowa was like shoot. Yeah. At the end of the day, like it really has no big effect on life unless you're in the game.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're directed
playing the game. Like if you're like to me, like there's some people like I feel like we know, and I know just like they get upset at games, like they like
or they're screaming at the TV.
Right.
I hate that. Like when I went to the Boston game, like this fan's like yelling and stuff. I was like, dude, sit down. Like nobody can hear you. The players cannot hear you. Yeah. Two, I understand you're an avid fan, but
you're a spectator. You're not.
Yeah, I call them wannabes.
Yeah.
They will never be an athlete. They think they're great and want to be like on the stage, and in the end, they're just a person who watches on TV like everybody else.
Right.
They just paid $400 to go to a game that they think that they're in, and really it has no effect on their life.
Yeah. 100%.
All they did is put their bank account lower. They had a good.
I
mean, the experience is important. That you're right. The experience is important, but in those people's like, if Boston doesn't win, it's not worth their time. Right. Whereas no matter what, even if Boston lost, I'm just so glad we went to the game. I mean, they won on a walk-off, so it was even better. But
right. But yeah, it's just like it's crazy, like what people let affect them.
Yeah.
And just think like traffic. And
that's me.
And I'm pretty good at. Normally it's just like it's whatever because I don't care unless it like actually puts my life in.
Well, I'm good until like okay, I can read my book now, or I can write my journal quick while I'm stuck here and not moving in traffic. Yeah. But when I have nothing to do and I like need to get something else done, then I get mad.
Yeah, that or like when people are slow and you're. It's just like always like typically the thing when you actually have to be somewhere and you're late or like have to be there and everyone is just like cruising like no cares in the world. Yeah. But then it's like flip flop and you don't have to be anywhere and you're just cruising. It's like the best feeling.
But then you think like I don't care if this person's late behind me.
Right.
It's so bad. We're all selfish. Yeah. We should do an episode on that too.
Yeah. Because like I mean again it's just like the hypocrisy in America is wild.
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, it's probably not just America; it's probably everywhere.
Yeah. But I guess I can refer to America because this is where I reside.
Yeah.
And that this is what I know, and that. But yeah, it's just crazy, and I know, it's just.
Going back 1 second here, actually. Okay, I got some more stuff on this.
You should have just ended it when I was talking.
I know, but then you started going and then...
Well, no. I was just saying because I was going to say another thing, but it's not that. It wasn't like a big...
Okay, I got some more stuff here.
Yeah, you go.
Okay, so going into... Sorry, I'd write the timestamps that we're doing timestamps now for you guys, hopefully to follow a little bit easier. But going back on the easy until hard part, I really think that in workouts. So in traveling and stuff, we got up early and this and that, we're tired. But then it's like, okay, do we really need to get up into the sunrise? Or workouts, I always overestimate. We were talking about this last night during the podcast stuff that we were doing. I always overestimate what I'm able to do, which might be a good thing for goals, but bad because, okay, I can get this workout done in 12 minutes. You get 3 minutes in and you're like, holy crap. how am I going to do this round again for 4 more rounds and make my time? There's no way.
But I'd rather overestimate myself than under.
Well, I mean, yeah, but at some point, sometimes you need the little pick me up. So I helped a kid kick tonight, right? And I literally stayed like close for most of the field goals just to give confidence so he can see that he's making them. So I think that's important because then again, his attitude going into the game is, I can do this.
You mean like close as
like not very
like 30 yards?
Yeah, like 30 yards.
I first thought I was like, you just stay like close to him.
No.
Okay, like.
Yeah, we're very friendly. But then that confidence, if you have good confidence, your attitude's better. If you have bad confidence, your attitude's down. Like attitude is, we'll get into this in a second actually, but so it's always easy until it's hard, like you were saying. So in that workout that I'm struggling with, okay, you're either gonna bust through the barrier or you're gonna fold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So your attitude plays a big role in that. Okay, I can get through 1 round of this in 3 minutes, no big deal.
Yeah.
Then you just do it again. Okay, I'll take a 30-second break, then I'll be recovered. Like, give yourself those positive vibes or reassure yourself that you can do it because that's all positive energy. If you say, oh, I can't do this. This sucks. I hate this workout. Then your attitude is going down the drain.
Right.
And it's bad. And then your performance, again, you think, oh, this sucks. You feel it, oh, my muscles are tired. And then your performance literally suffers. Your action is slower. It's too hard. I can't do this, right?
Yeah. Because, I mean, because it comes in that manifestation right there. Like those words.
Exactly.
That like you can't do it, then you're not gonna, because it's like you already have in your mind that you're not gonna succeed in that moment. And that thing, like you're not gonna be able to, I don't know, do high ropes and that because you're scared of heights.
And I don't think people understand how powerful the mind is. The attitude starts with your mind.
Right.
Like you might not be able to control necessarily how tall you are, how good at sports you are, how good at math you are, but you can control your attitude and your effort. That's one thing that was on the wrestling room when I was growing up. It says attitude is everything. It's so true.
Does your attitude cause 0%? You don't.
Yeah.
You don't have to like.
You don't need any genetics or any circumstance. Your attitude is literally a decision.
Yeah.
And every day,
same thing.
You have a million of them.
Same thing. Yeah, with work ethic. Your ethic is you're talking about. I mean, again, I feel like you
don't need talent to work hard.
Yeah. Sometimes you are blessed with like.
Just growing up, you
have more of like a higher work ethic.
Yeah, I would say I'm in that boat probably.
Yeah,
just based on my family.
Yeah, but it's something you can't train yourself to be better at, if not like good at.
Yeah.
And that because like it's all comes down to.
I think you can train yourself in anything a little bit.
Yeah, but that's one thing that like there's no cap on it. There's no cap on how good or how much like we're like. You're only gonna be so tall, and I mean, unless you're gonna wear high heels around.
No, but your attitude and effort, you can.
There's no cap.
You just keep going on it.
I mean, I guess there is like humanized potential.
Yeah, but
there's only 24 hours in a day, but at the end of the day, like, there's no cap. Like, what is it? Work beats talent. Like,
hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
There we go. Thank you, Austin. Glad you have all the quotes.
Heard that a bajillion times growing up. Some of that's probably the wrestling room, and wrestling really shows the attitude. There's sports. I mean, any passion you have, if you really like reflect on it, your attitude plays a huge role.
Yeah, you want to know where my attitude sucks? Thinking about it, kayaking.
In Minnesota.
Yeah, kayaking in big bodies of water terrifies me, and I die every time.
I don't know if that was really a bad attitude. I mean, I thought it was funny, but also my attitude was like, I might have to save this kid. Like,
yeah. So
I put on my like big boy pants and was like.
So just for reference, I'm out there. I am not great with water. Like I'll be in water and all that. Like I can swim. I was a lifeguard and all that stuff. But I do not care to be in water, like swimming and all that. Like I like kayaking and all that stuff. Like that, but. I do not want to get wet, preferably, in like a pool or like the river, the ocean, nothing like that. I don't want to get wet. Yeah. And so so like my attitude, like, great. I love kayaking, fantastic. Go kayaking all day long. But as soon as stuff started, kind of like you said, like as soon as stuff got hard or a little bit sketchy, Like we're having some white cast. It's wavy. When I'm looking both sides and I can't really see over the waves, I'm done. I'm out.
In my experience, I didn't even think it was bad. Like I thought it was fun.
That's
now, was it easy? No, paddling out to the island that we went to was not necessarily easy.
Yeah. So like that process of just like I did not have a good attitude. I'm gonna flip. I have everything on my phone. I didn't have my wallet, so that's nice. But I had my phone. I had all the snacks. I had the map and everything. I was like, if I flip over, I'm screwed. Like,
would you rather lose your wallet or your phone?
Wallet.
You'd rather lose your wallet?
Yeah.
Than your phone?
Yeah, because on my phone I can pay for stuff.
Yeah, that's a good call.
My wallet's just a wallet. That's gonna become.
He's got no money in anyways.
No, I just have my ID and my card. Essentially, about the only two actual things that really matter, which are gonna at some point become useless because it'll all be digitalized.
Yeah.
If not, we'll just have a little. We'll have a little implant in us that'll recognize who we are.
A little magnetic chip.
There we go.
It's like a gun. They screen you like a wand type deal. Oh, they're pouching.
Right. Which I mean, like, we're all about like this, like everyone wants privacy and all that stuff, but then the amount of like unprivate stuff we got, like
it's
we
growing.
just allow, isn't crazy. The stuff we allow people access to is insane.
That's just technology. But think about it. Humans. This is a whole nother topic. Humans create things and then we think, oh, that screws this up. So let me try to solve that problem. So all we do is humans create problems and we try to solve our own problems.
Our attitude, towards solving problems creates problems.
Yes. So some of it is we need to take life less seriously. That's one of the ways to be a little better, have a little better attitude. In the end, nothing matters. We're gonna die, or we're gonna go on the ground, and hopefully our souls go to heaven.
If you believe in that. If not, you become a tree.
Maybe.
Or a squirrel. I don't know. Up to you.
But I hit a squirrel.
Yeah.
In the Boston Marathon, there was a squirrel running back and forth. I was like, you're gonna get hit by a runner, dude.
You didn't save him?
No. There were so many cops, you'd be like, what are you doing? I'd be like, I'm saving the squirrel. It's Charlie.
That'd be fun.
I haven't seen my friend Jack. I don't even know his name, Jack, anymore. I haven't seen Jack in a long time. He must be dead.
Right.
Other stuff with attitude.
Yeah, so like, I don't know what you had right now.
Being positive, controlling it, helps us wiser, get some experience. Those are all the things we've talked about so far. Really, I think everybody's experience with attitude is different because everybody's made individually. Kind of like character. Everybody has their own little niche and what makes them bad or good, but you need to be positive for attitude. You need to see the bright side.
Right.
Otherwise, your attitude sucks.
Eyes forward.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because I guess I could say that. Explain that.
And again,
so like what I mean by that is, when I say like eyes forward is like there's always gonna be things you're gonna miss out on. Like everyone has like this FOMO like situation, and like especially like nowadays like with social media.
People only post good things on media.
Yeah, and like everyone has this FOMO that like you're missing out on life or something.
Mm-hmm.
But in real life, like the only thing you can control is like what's going on in yours.
Yeah.
And then the attitude you have around it. So to me, I was like a big thing that I was like I've been playing with is like just eyes forward. And that if I miss out on like a party or a wedding, or if I miss out on getting in on like a certain stock, okay, eyes forward, and that I gotta get ready for the next one. Because if I'm looking back at what I could have done or should have done, then I'm gonna miss the next opportunity as well.
I think you should reflect a little bit, like, okay, how can I make sure I don't miss the stock again?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's eyes forward, and that's so you're preparing. So yeah, you missed it. Now you got to prepare for the next one that's coming your way, or the next thing that comes your way.
Yeah, I totally agree.
The next
with
opportunity.
That. And again, I mean, the quote I was going to talk about is how really life is like 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it.
Yeah.
I mean, crap happens to everybody. That's a given.
Yeah. Everyone's always going through something.
Exactly. You're either...
So be kind.
Yeah. Nice. We're just hitting the quotes tonight. Another quote is, you're either on this side of heaven, you're always getting into a conflict, just got out of a conflict, or you're about to be in a conflict. Always. like this summer, I was like, wow, I have really nothing bad in my life right now. I was like, one's coming.
That just means you're like, that's growth right there. Cause like it means you're ready for like that next stage. Or
Yeah, and then
next
that
thing, and like.
Yeah, and then the it's coming is all right. I'm gonna take it head on, instead of being this is not good. So my initial
like
thought
trying
was
to find ways to avoid it.
yeah. My first thought was and then it's like all right, I'm ready. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, I'm ready. I'm gonna do it. So
I'm ready.
I think we got a lot of good stuff tonight with patience as well.
Yeah.
And then what was the other thing that correlated with really well that we said earlier? I said patience and attitude, experiences. There's another thing.
Yeah.
I thought we said that it went really well with. We talked about our passions. How it goes with.
I'm a lost here.
Austin -2 on the night, trying to swing back to something and forgets it. Oh my gosh,
I'm
just
lost
bad.
in this sauce because I'm not inside your brain, but yeah, because
bad co-host Austin, you're hosting bad. It's all right. Eyes forward. We messed up. You know what? Move on. It's all right. People don't like it.
Yeah.
Oh well, I apologize. I do, but I mean I'm human. I'm gonna mess up.
Yeah. Eyes forward.
Eyes forward, baby. All right. You got anything else on attitude?
I think that's it. I think that's all I got. If
No.
you're done, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm good. Challenge of the week. What do we got? Taylor's like, I don't know.
Eyes forward.
Eyes forward. I do like that.
Yeah.
We can change it because we can change it to that. I like that actually.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do with the eyes forward? What's an action step that we can have from our thinking to our emotional state to physically doing? That's attitude right there. How can we put attitude into eyes being forward in our daily lives?
I'd say just be aware where your attitude is when things are happening in your life, and that good and bad. And that way you're staying focused, staying ready for the next opportunity that comes your way.
Yeah. Something bad happens. All right, it happened. How can I respond in a positive way? I can get through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep moving forward. Eyes forward. Like that. Cool. Once again, appreciate you guys listening. We'll keep you updated. Hopefully, we get some more big things. I love that stuff. I love the housekeeping stuff.
Every week we're gonna come in here and we're gonna say we got something big going on every week.
I do feel like I feel like the podcast has significantly grown in the past 3 weeks.
For sure, I'm with you.
In terms of ideas, and then putting it on like the goals, I see it being built. You know, like the foundation is being set, and we're building it.
Yeah, and I think especially the next few weeks, as we're learning, like it's getting good. We're getting good.
Well, I started my mess ups. I do apologize for not being able to remember that tonight. Normally, normally my improv is just like boom, 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 and
it's all good. Eyes forward. Next time we'll call the Power Rangers. It's all good.
I messed it up tonight, but you know what? It's all right.
Yeah. Again,
I won't hold a grudge.
You can follow me at Taylor.Patton, TAYLER.PATTAN. You can follow Austin at
_Eartham17, and then our podcast is the kitchen table _pod
on Instagram.
And then once we get the YouTube up, we'll send the link out for sure. Like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Let us know what we're supposed to do. And don't forget, we'll have Bo's stuff linked in the timestamps as well.
Right.
In the description.
And rate us, comment.
Yeah, let us know. We need feedback.
Yeah, and then we'll shout you out.
Yeah.
Anything. Again, appreciate you listening. Thank you. Have a great week. Love you. Bye.
All right. All right. This is episode 18.